Right, let's get straight into what's happening in your world of sports. Preparations for the Women's T20 World Cup are in full swing for the Proteas Women. Now, they kick off their blockbuster season by hosting a T20 tri-series with the India and West Indies this month at Buffalo Park. That's starting on the 9th of January to the 2nd of February. Now, the three teams will play two T20s against each other before the tri-series final gets underway. And it will be the team's regular captain, Dane van Niekerk's first appearance for the Proteas Women side since November 2021 after she sustained a left ankle fracture in January. So she joins us right now on the line just to chat a bit more about the exciting season that's coming up. Dane, thank you very much for your time. It's always a pleasure chatting to you. How are you feeling in the new year? So much to look forward to in terms of the Momentum Proteas calendar and just for you personally.
Hi, Yemi. First of all, thank you for having me. It's always good to go into a new year not injured, first of all, and being in East London, joining the team for the pre-tour camp for the Tri-Series. It's always special to get back with the team and to wear the green and gold. I'm obviously very excited. Good to see everybody worked quite hard throughout the festive season, and everybody's just excited to get the season going and get the preparations well and truly underway for the home World Cup.
I mean, we're talking about the tri-season, and we know that the SA20 starts next week because Cricket South Africa has been talking a lot about it. Would you say that perhaps the Federation missed out on an opportunity to also launch the women's season for the T20 series coming up?
It's quite difficult. I think this is just, the SA20 is the first for South Africa, and I think, first of all, everything what's gone about around it has been quite successful and fun to watch. So, it'll be nice to see a SA Women's 20 in the near future. But no, I think, there's a time and a place for everything, and the main focus for us as a team is just to get through the series, with a lot of confidence, a lot of plans that we obviously want to iron out and just make sure that we are ready and ready to go. We know that the World Cup will have its, standalone time, and I think that's the most important, tournament for me. And the back of my head is just making sure that, we put on a good show when the time comes and, all the limelight's on the World Cup.
I mean, just this week we heard from Nadine saying how excited the team is looking forward to having you back in the national setup. Does this put some pressure on you in terms of continuing from where you left off, even though we did see that you're still the player that we know?
Yeah, look, it's it's hard to say because I haven't played in quite a bit. I played a bit of domestic cricket recently, and so it's just good to be back playing the game. Coming off a couple of injuries in the last 2-3 years has really pushed me back quite a bit. But I'm quite blessed that I love the game of cricket, and I can rock up and do my best for my team, and hopefully I can do just that coming back. Playing international cricket, it's a different beast all on its own. Is playing against the best in the world, and I mean we're going up against very good sides in India and West Indies, and then obviously the World Cup's the best of the best. So, I think for me, as just personally, it's always been about the small wins and coming back into international cricket, and hopefully, as I said, I can contribute to a winning environment and winning performance for the team.
How did you deal, though, with missing out on some of those major events like, the Commonwealth Games, the World Cup, which I'm sure as a player you aspire to compete in?
Yeah, look, it was obviously quite devastating. It was today's the 7th, so it was actually exactly a year ago, yesterday was exactly a year ago when I broke my ankle, and I had the realization that I'm not going to play in a World Cup, ODI World Cup. So, look, it takes a toll on you as a sports person in general. It's something I've been doing for my whole life. And also big tournaments like the World Cup. It's stuff you live for. It's stuff you train for, and working hand in hand with Hilton and the team, Hilton our coach, and obviously the team. To make sure that we are as ready as we can be for World Cup, and to lose out and miss out a week before we go into a pre-tournament series. It's devastating, but you live and learn. and hopefully, as I said, I can come back stronger, not just as a cricketer, but as a human and as a captain as well.
Yeah, we all just looking forward to seeing you back in action in terms of the national setup. But you also didn't take part in the test match against England. Would you like to see the women's team play more test matches?
Oh, I'd love to be part of just one more if I could. Yeah, that was also I worked hard to get there, but unfortunately, it's not just about running around and saying, oh, I feel better, I can play. Physically, there's a lot of things behind the scenes that, we have to tick a lot of boxes, and unfortunately, it was too difficult for me to do that. In I guess the given time frame. So yeah, it wasn't great to miss that as well. It's one of my dreams to captain in a test. I've played one, but I never captained one. So it's an absolute dream, and I'd love to see us play a lot more test cricket, but I know it's on the horizon, and hopefully I'll be part of one of those.
I mean, now with you coming back into the national team, obviously there's a couple of youngsters over there, a mixture of experience and perhaps young players over there. Do you think there's a proper transition into the national team for the younger players?
I think that's a nice thing about our team. We've got a lot of players that's been playing together for the last 10 plus years, and that's still part of the team. We unfortunately lost Lizali and Mignon de Prier, which was massive for us as a side, and but I always say that the core of the group, the core of the team has been staying together, and as I said, there's a big mixed match of experience and youth, and I think that makes for, I guess, a very good setup. A lot of experience gets bounced around to the young ones, and I mean, which better place to learn is to learn, on the park with players that have been doing it successfully for a long time.
And I mean, with your injuries, obviously you seeing these youngsters, I mean, we saw you playing against the under-19 side, and you just giving them a word of encouragement. I could just see you saying, guys, huddle up together, and let me just try to help you in terms of giving you some words as an experienced player. Do you find yourself perhaps asking yourself in terms of injuries that it's almost time for me to hand over the baton to these young ones?
I'm 29 only, so I've been playing it. I've been in the team for quite a long time, and yes, I think there's a right time to do that. I think a lot of our seniors still feel like they have a lot to give, but I think, as you said, a smooth transition is always a good one. So absolutely, there is a time and a place, and we all know when the right time is to do that. I think it's just about giving these young ones the opportunity to really express themselves and really, I guess, coming to their own within the setup. Playing international cricket or international sports in general is no, child's play. It is quite difficult, and if you give it over too early, you might find yourself wanting. So I think it's just making sure that we do it at the right time, and I think the main thing for us is to make sure that we've got our best players going into this World Cup. It's such a massive occasion for our country, and women's sport. It can really put women's sport, not just cricket, on the map. So, just quite excited for that.
Just shortly before I let you go, what are you hoping to achieve this year?
Win a World Cup. That's definitely top of the list. It'll be amazing. That this generation of cricketers has just been such incredible, I guess, role models for women's sports people in the country, and what better time and what better way for this team to I guess, as you say, give over the baton is to win a World Cup first, and then we'll speak about maybe giving it over to the young ones. So that's definitely, and not getting injured.
Yeah, we're really crossing fingers for that. We're really crossing fingers for that. But Dane, thank you very much for your time, and wishing you nothing but the best with regards to this tri-season, and obviously looking up at the World Cup as a whole. That is Dane van Niekerk, who is the captain of the Momentum Proteas, returning into the national setup.